Welcome, welcome to my ex dirty secrets.
The sound of her suitcase wheels scraping against the marble floor was the last thing I heard before the front door clicked shut. Then silence, thick, suffocating, the kind that seeps into your skin. 7 days. She'd said it so casually the night before, standing in the doorway with her favorite red scarf looped around her neck. "Don't bother me with calls," she'd said, her tone firm but detached. "I'll be unavailable." I remember how I tried to smile, pretending it didn't sting. But inside something fragile cracked. "Unavailable?" Task. "You mean no phone at all?" She'd sighed, the kind of sigh people use when they're already halfway out the door. "It's a company retreat, Daniel. There's no signal in the mountains." But I knew she was lying. The way her eyes darted when I said her coworker's name, Ethan. The faint whiff of his cologne on her coat 2 nights ago. The late-night text she brushed off with a tight smile and a quick, "It's just work." Still, I wanted to believe her. Because belief is easier than heartbreak. The first night I barely slept. The bed felt too big, the sheets too cold. I kept reaching over, half asleep, expecting her warmth beside me. Instead, my hand found emptiness. By the second night, the silence started talking. Every creak in the house became her voice. Every phone vibration felt like proof. Proof she hadn't forgotten me. Proof I was paranoid. But there were no messages. No calls. Just that maddening quiet. So I started looking for something. Anything that might silence the noise inside me. Her laptop was still on the dresser. She'd left it unlocked, as if daring me to look. My heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. I told myself I was just checking her itinerary. Just confirming she was safe. But when I opened her mail, I saw it. Reservation. 2 names. Ethan Grayson and Claire Dawson. A beachside villa, not a mountain resort. 7 days, 2 guests. My vision blurred. For a moment I couldn't breathe. My mouth went dry, and my hands trembled so violently I nearly dropped the laptop. The betrayal wasn't loud. It was quiet, surgical, precise. She'd planned it carefully, even down to the lie about bad reception. The next morning I drove to her office. Her coworkers were polite, all smiles, all pretending not to know. "Company retreat?" I asked, forcing a casual tone. "Oh yeah," one of them said. "Ethan organized it." Her voice faltered on his name. That was enough. I drove home in silence, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles went white. My reflection in the rearview mirror looked hollow. Every memory started replaying like a broken reel. The way she laughed at his jokes, how she'd started dressing differently, how she'd begun showering right after coming home from work. Little red flags I'd folded into origami and called love. By the 5th day, anger had turned into something colder. I started packing her things, one shirt after another, folded neatly into boxes. Not because I wanted to throw her out, but because it helped me breathe. Each fold felt like reclaiming space she'd stolen. Then, on the 7th night, her phone lit up on the kitchen counter. A single message appeared. "Flight delayed. Can't wait to see you again soon, see." I stared at it for a long time. My stomach twisted, but I didn't cry. Instead, I replied, "You will." She came home the next morning, tanned and glowing, smelling of salt and coconut oil. She kissed my cheek like everything was normal. "Did you miss me?" she asked, grinning. I just looked at her. "Did you?" She froze. "What do you mean?" "Did you miss me?" I repeated. "When you were lying beside Ethan?" The color drained from her face. "Daniel, I held up her laptop, the open reservation staring her down. "You lied," I whispered. "You didn't even bother to change the name." Tears welled in her eyes, but I couldn't feel anything anymore. Not love, not hate. Just the hollow ache of something irreversible. "I didn't plan to hurt you," she said softly. "It just happened." "Accidents don't require plane tickets," I replied. For a long time, neither of us spoke. The morning light spilled across the floor, catching the edge of her suitcase, the same one that scraped across the marble 7 days ago. Finally, I walked to the door and opened it. Daniel, please, she whispered. I turned to her. You said you'd be unavailable, I said quietly. So stay that way. That night, the silence returned. But it felt different this time, less suffocating, more like space. I stood by the window, watching her car disappear down the street. I should have felt broken. But instead I felt something like peace, sharp and clean. She had taken 7 days to destroy us. I would take the rest of my life to rebuild myself. Because sometimes betrayal doesn't end with shouting or revenge. It ends with a door closing, and the quiet understanding that love, when it dies, leaves echoes that eventually fade. And when they do, you finally breathe again.